KOIN 6 News This Morning starts right now.
And now at 5, Portland has a new police chief again. We are live breaking down what we've learned about the woman set to take the reins of the Bureau.
Plus, still missing. A young woman vanishes from a self-help conference in Portland. We have 2 clues that have shown up more than 100 miles from where she was last seen.
And a local man may have to bury his wife without her remains. How a thief dealt a second blow to the family of an Iraq War veteran. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on 5 a.m., I'm Jenny Hansen.
And I'm Trevor Alden for Ken Body. Want to get a first look at your morning weather and traffic. Both Carly Canelli and Joseph Dames are back, which means you don't have to suffer through my traffic reports. But first, we want to check on your forecast. Joseph Dames standing by in the Weather Center with a look at another hot day.
Another hot day and smoky day. We're just not going to be able to kick that smoke out of here, at least for our Tuesday. So poor air quality continues for our Tuesday. Here's our Riverview Community Bank camera. You can tell that it's already a little foggy. We have a little bit of an onshore flow, which is going to keep the clouds in this morning and some fog. So that might actually keep our temperatures a little bit cooler by this afternoon. 62 right now coming out of Vancouver. Light breeze right around 3 miles per hour. When we get fog like this, usually the wind is very calm. It'll pick up a little bit more this afternoon. We have 60s on the east side of the state, 50s along the coast. Astoria 56, Newport at 55, and that's where the clouds are this morning. It should all clear up by the time we get to the afternoon, but it's going to leave that hazy sky behind. So this afternoon, I think we'll top off right around the lower 90s. We hit 90 yesterday, just about 89. I think we're going to hit right around 91 this afternoon, but we'll keep the muggy conditions in there and the hazy conditions in there all afternoon. Now, there are a few days later on in this week that might show some signs of some cooling, so I'll let you know just in a few minutes. Carly, how's it going?
Well, it's a great start to your commute this morning at 5:01. You can see that the Portland metro area is nice and quiet. We've got a lot of green traffic flows out there. No slowdowns to report yet this morning. So I-5, I-84, the Sunset, they're their usual drive times when they don't have any problems. So 7 minutes, 5 minutes on I-84 and 5 minutes on 26 in from 217. I-205 southbound is 12 minutes there through Oregon City, 8 minutes on 217 southbound, and expect 17 minutes in from Wilsonville.
All right, Carly, thank you. Well, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler is making good on a campaign promise, bringing in a new chief to lead the Portland Police Bureau.
Current police chief Mike Marshman is now retiring. Brent Weisberg is live this morning with what we know so far about the new chief. Brent?
Hey, good morning. We expect to learn a little bit more about the new chief of police here at the Portland Police Bureau on Thursday when Danielle Outlaw comes to Portland. Will be introduced by Mayor Ted Wheeler at a press conference. As you can imagine, reaction here at the Police Bureau is a bit mixed. Danielle Outlaw is coming from Oakland, California, where she is serving as the deputy chief of police down there. She will become Portland's next police chief. She will be the first African-American female police chief for the Rose City and only the 3rd ever police chief from outside Bureau ranks. She replaces current police chief Mike Marshman, who was hired in April 1991, and he would rise through the ranks and eventually become the Bureau's point person when it came to the settlement between the Department of Justice and the city of Portland. He became police chief in June 2016 after then Portland Police Chief Larry O'Day retired after controversy following an off-duty shooting incident in Harney County. In a statement, Chief Marshman said that he is confident the Bureau will continue to be a leader in 21st century policing and said, quote, "The community should rest easy knowing that they have one of the best police departments in the country." As I mentioned, Danielle Outlaw is scheduled to be here in Portland on Thursday, where she will meet with members of the media and also other leaders in the city as a formal introduction. Of course, for Mike Marshman, he is retiring, and we still don't know what his future plans are. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Brent. We're tracking some new developments in the search for a missing Washington County woman. The car belonging to Demi Hellenius has been located, but there's still no sign of her. The 23-year-old from Rock Creek was last seen Saturday in Portland. Then yesterday, her car was found in Cottage Grove, just a few miles from the Lane County Dairy Queen, where her cell phone was turned in late Saturday night, where her parents are now waiting for any updates.
That night, my husband and I went I-5 as far as past Salem, and we checked the sides of the roads, we checked all the rest stops.
So far, investigators say there's no sign of foul play. If you have any information, call investigators in Washington County.
The body of a missing Salem boy has been recovered from the Willamette River. Crews found the body of 5-year-old Alan Chaz Pearson yesterday, and he was about 13 miles downriver from where he was last seen on Friday. That death is being investigated as a drowning. A popular play area is taped off after pieces of glass were found in Westmoreland Nature Park. And we're working to learn if someone deliberately broke glass there or if it was an accident. Some of the glass was found in the sand area where children usually play barefoot. Now, Portland Parks and Rec tells us that they visit the park daily and assess any safety concerns.
It's terrible. I mean, I think that, I love this nature playground idea with the sand and all of that. I think it's so cool. Yeah, I wish that people would be a little more respectful.
Even if no hazard is evident, park officials say parents should accompany small children in those play areas.
This morning, a husband continues to grieve as police search for his wife's stolen remains. The woman's funeral was set to happen today, and her husband, Matt Archer, says that his wife's urn was wrapped in a pair of jeans in the back of his Jeep, and someone stole that urn over the weekend. Volunteers spent yesterday putting up signs letting people know to be on the lookout for the black urn.
We have a plot for both of us to be interned at Willamette National, and now it'll, her marker will be there, but it'll just be me alone.
As of now, the funeral at Willamette National Cemetery will only be a memorial.
Today, President Trump is taking steps toward fulfilling a campaign promise to tackle the opioid epidemic that's affecting the entire country. President Trump gets a briefing on that crisis today from Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price. The president's proposed budget asks for $10.7 billion for drug treatment. That's a $200 million increase, but it would cut $167 million from abuse prevention. The President's Opioid Commission has asked President Trump to declare a national health emergency. The president has yet to respond.
Several parts of the country are dealing with cleanup from severe weather. Fast flooding trapped people in San Antonio, and one man was forced on top of a car as he waited for rescuers. And as the rain continued to fall, rescue crews used some pretty big ladders to eventually reach that man and then bring him to safety.
He had about a 45-minute wait. I can imagine that was pretty nerve-wracking. In the time we were here, the water came up over a foot.
Well, in Maryland, some strong winds flipped cars and prompted people to run, even hide. And people in Tulsa still cleaning up after an EF2 tornado hit on Sunday. Also in New Orleans, people are picking up the pieces after some heavy rain soaked streets and damaged property there.
Well, firefighters say a huge fire burning in the Mount Jefferson wilderness will likely still be burning during the eclipse. The Whitewater fire has grown to more than 5,500 acres, and it is burning completely uncontained. Several trails in the area near Detroit Lake are closed, including about 30 miles of the Pacific Crest Trail. Right now, again, no containment. Their biggest worry right now is the weather.
There are thunderstorms that are coming up. We've been keeping an eye on them coming up from California. Right now we're still uncertain if they'll actually hit this area specifically, but regardless, we are expecting a little bit of impact from those storms based on winds they might produce.
More than 600 firefighters are working to slow it down.
And meteorologist Joseph Daniels has been looking at these wildfire conditions. Joseph, is there any hope of maybe this improving in the next week or so?
Well, as you just said, there's a chance for some thunderstorms, so it's not looking good, at least for the meantime and then over the next couple of days. This area of low pressure off of California might shove some energy up, and as she mentioned, it's going to be very close to that area, so I don't see much relief there. So active wildfires continue for our Tuesday. We're about a medium to a high end of this. We're going to see that dry summer heat continue. A north breeze 5 to 10 miles per hour running out of the northwest. And I mentioned here at the bottom those cascade thunderstorms, which are probably pretty likely as we go into the next couple of days. And that means it's going to be windy at times. There could be more lightning. It's going to make it very difficult for that area. So we'll have to continue to monitor that wildfire. Our current conditions closer towards home right now. Portland at 62, Salem at 61, Kelso at 61. Along the coast, temperatures in the 50s and the clouds cloud coverage is there. We haven't seen rain in 52 days. We are approaching a record there. It's getting really close, or at least the top 5 of how dry the stretch has been. We're not going to get it for our Tuesday. We're just going to get that smoky sky and temperatures in the 90s, topping off right around the lower 90s today for Beaverton, down towards Lake Oswego. Tigard right around 94 this afternoon. It's definitely going to get pretty hot out there. The smoke might keep it a little bit cooler, but I have temperatures in the lower 90s here from PDX over towards Gresham. I'll let you know when we do see those temperatures cool down just a little bit and when we might see some rain. Yeah, some rain. That's just in a few minutes. Carly?
We'll expect a great commute so far at 5:09. I've got the Portland metro area here for you. You can see the map looks great, and so does the Morrison Bridge. It's nice to have that open and traffic flowing freely there across the bridge. Now take a look at I-5 southbound, 8 minutes and 9 minutes on I-205 southbound. So real quick there in from Vancouver. On 26 eastbound, it's 11 minutes in from Hillsborough, 12 minutes out to Hillsborough. And then we have I-84 here. Westbound is 14 minutes from Troutdale, 5 minutes from I-205 to I-5. And check out these 3 drive times. They all look great. Just a reminder to sign up for either text alerts or push alerts so you can stay up to date as you leave the house.
All right, thanks, Carly. It's 5:10, and we're just getting started here on KOIN 6 News this morning.
A mural in part of Portland is causing a dispute between the homeowner and the city. We'll explain why some people have a problem with this work of art.
And we're heading back to the Clark County Fair. There are some great deals for you to get in on this week. Cora Harlan will tell you all about them.
And don't forget, if you have a story you'd like us to investigate, just download the KOIN.com app and you can send us your news tips.
Welcome back. A mural in North Portland is putting the artist and a homeowner at odds with the city.
The family that owns the home commissioned Adam Cerisi to paint the mural you're seeing right there. And at least one person has filed a complaint with the city. That complaint says that it looks like the kids you're seeing there are jumping off the St. John's Bridge. Well, also, the city says that this mural has to come down. They're citing a rule that if a mural is on a residential building, it has to be home for more than 4 families.
we wanted to do something that would be something that everybody in the neighborhood could take pride in.
So if that means that we're becoming an advocate for loosening these laws around public art and where they can and can't be placed, then so be it. I'm ready.
Well, it turns out that homeowner is also a public defender, so we're going to continue to follow this story. We will let you know what happens with the mural.
Well, the Clark County Fair is on right now, and there are a few deals to look out for over the next several days.
And Cora Harlan live this morning at the fairgrounds in Ridgefield with more. Cora, good to have you back there. It looks like you're going to be interacting with a few animals here this morning.
Well, that's right. We're in the sheep barn out here where my photographer Carl has developed a few new buddies there. Show everybody your new buddy, Carl. This guy thinks Carl's got some grain in his pocket, I think, here. It's a transitional day here. By the way, overnight, there were more animals born at the fair. 2 pygmy goats were born last night during the concert over in the grandstand. We know that because the veterinarian was at the concert and was called over to the goat barn here to help give birth to a couple of pygmy goats. That is in addition to piglets that were born just before the fair and brought here. Gosh, there was 8 or 10 of them, I think. There have also been a couple of calves born here to cows at the fair itself. So actually a lot of things going on here. It's a big day for animals as well. This is the midway point of the fair. They'll change out all of the animals overnight tonight. That'll be 500 of them out, 500 new ones coming in. So that is a big deal for these sheep. They'll go back to their regular homes. And the grandstands will be broken down today. They've had a lot of successful concerts out here already. B-52s. Melissa Etheridge, I'm told, still has a pretty good voice and could belt it out here in the grandstand last night. But they're going to break all the concert stuff down tonight and get ready for the second half of the fair, which involves tonight the rodeo. The mutton busting will begin at 2 o'clock today. The bull riding at 7 o'clock tonight in the grandstands of the Clark County Fairgrounds. And then they get ready, Trevor and Jenny, for the last 5 days, the motorsports events, which are as follows. Demolition Derby on Thursday, something called Tough Trucks on later on this week as well. That's what guys essentially building cars in their backyard, driving it through an obstacle course, getting it all muddy, and then driving it to work the next day. So a lot of things going on here at the Clark County Fairgrounds. We're going to be over with the beekeepers, Clark County Beekeepers Association, here in about a half an hour. So stay with us here from the sheep barn at the Clark County Fair today.
You got it, Cora. First of all, I'm sure Melissa Etheridge is happy to have his stamp of approval.
Right,
for
that
her voice.
you hear she still has a good voice.
Right.
Yes.
Sources say.
Well, she can. Yeah, sources say. I heard that from the fair manager. He says she can still belt it out pretty well today.
Okay.
Good to hear.
Well,
and then also,
yeah.
I'm not sure what it says about
You're
Cora.
such a good girl.
Cora feels a little bit more comfortable in the sheep barn than he
Yes.
did with the virtual reality video game section.
Oh, last week.
These
Okay.
sheep can belt it out, too.
A little more.
Aw, all right.
Oh, you baby.
Cora.
Oh, look at that.
Wow. Who knew he had
Girl.
that
Gonna
side?
eat my program here.
Right
Okay.
right back into it.
All right. Thank you, Corp. Hey, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office wants to know about your kids' lemonade stands. They say they want to visit every lemonade stand in Lincoln County. You just need to send them a message with the date, time, and address of your lemonade stand, and the deputies will stop by.
It's not to check to make sure they have the proper permits.
When I first started reading through that story this morning, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought, well, that's
time
kind of...
time to crack down.
Yeah, lemonade stands. No, it's because they want to quench their thirst and I guess just get to know the kids.
Community
community
involvement.
outreach,
Good.
yes.
That sounds great.
Maybe post a picture on social media.
And maybe that too.
That's true.
Yeah.
Great photo ops at the lemonade stand.
Love a good lemonade stand.
Yeah, of course.
It's good weather for it, right?
Sure is.
Sure.
Is. Yeah. It's going to be hot. It's going to be hazy. Yeah. So go find those lemonade stands. I saw one in the Northeast the other day, so maybe it's still there for all of you folks. This afternoon, we're going to see those temperatures warming up to lower 90s. I want to kick us off with our pet walk forecast. If you're going to do some walking this morning, do it early. Temperatures in the 60s. It's going to get hot this afternoon, but a pretty cozy morning. We'll start us off with Little Lou here. What a great name, just kind of hanging out. A great shot. You can send your photo in at coin.com/petwalk. Later on this afternoon, again, it gets pretty hot. Temperatures warming up to the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. We'll be topping off at 91. The hot pause again, so make sure that you're watching over those pets. And if you're going out later on this afternoon, it's going to get hot outside. And this is a picture of Buckwheat and Wheeler, 2 brothers there hanging out, kind of gathering some sun, likely having a pretty good morning or afternoon. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Forest Grove at 60. 61, Tigard 62, Lake Oswego at 64, 50s and 60s if you move east to Oregon City this morning. Hope you're having a great Tuesday at 60 coming out at this hour, and 58 for Happy Valley. So all of us are on the upper 50s to lower 60s. Here's what to expect this afternoon. The valley and the gorge are going to get pretty hot, and even on the central and east side of the state too. So typical summer temperatures, but we're going to keep that smoke screen in the sky. So if you're going to be outdoors, the air quality is going to be low. So make sure that you're careful if you have to worry about something like that. It's not going to be very nice this afternoon. We'll keep that smoke in the air and that ozone too. Hazy and humid today. We're going to see those temperatures again back to about 90 degrees. The smoke sticks around at least for our Tuesday and likely into parts of the midweek too. But there is some potential cooling and a chance for some rain later on in this week. This whole area of gray right here is our poor air quality. It's going to continue until Tuesday night, possibly even a little bit longer than that. So this is all because of the wildfires, the active wildfires, and those warmer conditions outside kind of trapping those particles. Here's our 7-day forecast. We'll see those temperatures warming up to the lower 90s again tomorrow as well as Thursday, but possibly later on this week we're starting to see things cool on down, which is going to feel really good by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. Even a slight chance for a little bit of precipitation. Look at this. That's Sunday night into Monday where we have a small chance for a little bit of rain. It's been 52 days, so if we get there, we might actually break that. Temperatures cooling down to the lower 80s. How about that, Carly? Rain in lower 80s?
I know.
Wow.
We need it. I don't like watering my plants that much, so any kind of rain will help me out. But 52 days, such a long stretch. 5:20 in the morning, I've got a very nice commute to show you with drive times that really are short and won't take you long to get to where you're going. So 26 eastbound is only 5 minutes there for the drive on the west side, 17 minutes on I-5 northbound from Wilsonville to downtown. Check out I-84. Expect 5 minutes there from I-205 to I-5. And I-5 southbound hasn't slowed yet before the Interstate Bridge. That's always the first spot. 7 minutes right now from SR 500 to the Fremont Bridge. Now go to my blog online, go to KOIN.com and click on the traffic tab and then click on KOIN Commute to find the latest traffic related stories.
All right, Carly, thank you. The time is 5:20. You're watching KOIN 6 News, watching out for you.
And a sexist memo at Google has gone viral, and it cost at least one person his job. Hear what the former employee has to say about working for the tech giant.
This is a larval rearing robot, and if that sounds exotic, it's because this machine is one of a kind. It will produce 20 million mosquitoes, and it could be the key to wiping out dengue fever, the Zika virus, and other deadly diseases. We'll show you how coming up on CBS This Morning.
Coming up on 525, General Motors is getting ready to roll out a new electric car this week, but only in China. So take a look. This tiny electric car, it's going to be going for pretty cheap, just about $5,000. It's called the Baojun E100. It's a two-seater that has a top speed of 62 miles an hour. GM says the E100 can drive about 96 miles on a fully charged battery, and the car is already a hit. More than 5,000 people have signed up to buy the first vehicles off the assembly line.
Now, this morning, a Google engineer is out of a job after he wrote a 10-page sexist manifesto. Now, the author of the controversial memo titled Google's Ideological Echo Chamber is software engineer James Damore. Now, he says he released the document hoping to start an honest discussion on diversity at the internet giant, where only 20% of tech workers are women. The document suggested men have a higher drive for status and that women were more neurotic. The manifesto has sparked outrage and reaction from tech workers and former Google employees like engineer Erica Baker. She worked at Google for 9 years.
I'd experienced some amount of microaggressions and some major aggressions at Google.
Late last night, Google's CEO tweeted a statement sent to employees. It reads in part, to suggest a group of our colleagues have traits that make them less biologically suited is offensive and not okay.
You're a woman, Jenny. How do you feel about that man's hypothesis?
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, it's bogus. It's ill-informed. No, I mean, there are guys out there like that, but I'm glad they took swift action. Yes, yeah. So
they made it pretty clear right away. All right, it's 5:26, and we have another half hour of news, weather, and traffic coming up after the break.
And brand new poll numbers are out for President Trump. We're looking at how the nation views the first 6 months of his administration.
And a fiery crash overseas. Find out what happened to the people involved in this dramatic wreck.
6 News This Morning starts right now.
Well, thank you for sticking with us on this Tuesday morning. You're taking a live look at the Columbia River Gorge, and it's beautiful, but you can't really see all that much right now thanks to the haze from smoke and also a little bit of fog that's rolled in across our area this morning. I'm Trevor Ault, in for Ken Body.
And I'm Jenny Hansen, and yeah, that smoke has really been something. I know you and I were both at Sally's wedding over the weekend, and
went
coming
to Mount
back.
Bachelor too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For a dinner at the top of the mountain, you know, took the ski lift up there, and you could see stuff, but it wasn't the same because it was supposed to be a sunset dinner, but the haze is thick.
Yeah, and I was wondering yesterday, Joseph, with the eclipse coming up, I know there's still like 2 weeks away, but could that could affect as far viewing it, right?
Definitely, definitely. If it stays like this, yeah, it's so smoky and hazy out there. I do think we might clear some of that out as we go into later on this week, so that's good news. But things could just fall right back into this pattern if we see our conditions warm right back on up. It's foggy this morning, and then this afternoon it's going to be smoky and hazy, so we'll have that. If you're going to be stepping out early this morning, expect that fog along the Columbia River, especially in areas of the coast. If you're further off to the east or south, I think you'll probably have a normal start without the fog and clouds. But this should start to dissipate or clear on up later on this morning and towards right around midday. It's 69 right now for the Dalles, 65 for Pendleton, 50s along the coast. It's cloudy from Astoria down towards Newport. Portland right now at 62 degrees. This afternoon will warm up to about the lower 90s. And again, we're going to start off the fog this morning. We'll see some sunshine this afternoon. It's going to be smoky and hazy out there, leading to poor air quality once again. So if you're sensitive to that, you're going to want to probably stay indoors as much as you can today. So the air quality and the smoke continues. I'll let you know when we might actually see that kick on out of here, and we'll have some improvements that should be coming up later on this week. Carly, how's it going this morning on the roads?
Oh, it's going really great right now. You've got 532 and things are in great shape. Just look at the Portland metro area, the traffic flows, which are green there. Drive times green as well. So I-5 southbound, only 7 minutes. You're looking at I-84 with a quick 5-minute drive, and then 5 minutes on 26 for the eastbound commute in from 217. Now, the other 3 drive times that tend to slow later on in the morning haven't slowed yet. So I-205 southbound is 12 minutes there near the Abernathy Bridge, 7 minutes on 217, and 16 in from Wilsonville this morning.
All right, thanks, Carly. A Woodburn police officer is due in court today to answer allegations that he sexually abused a young girl.
Reporter Brent Weisberg joins us now with a look ahead to what we expect to happen. Good morning, Brent.
Hey, good morning. Very serious allegations against this police officer right now. In a few hours, we should learn a little bit more about the allegations against him. The Washington County District Attorney's Office tells us the investigation is still ongoing. It's being led right now by the Tigard Police Department. They are the ones who are making these allegations. Police officer Daniel Alvin Krebs was arrested in late July after the DA's office charged him with online sexual corruption of a child, sodomy, and sexual abuse. As I mentioned, the case is being investigated by the Tigard Police Department and their detectives. According to them, the victim in the case was a minor when everything went down. Court records show that the allegations date back to a small window of time in 2013 and 2014. Police still haven't said specifically what happened or how old the child was when the alleged sex acts happened. The Woodburn Police Department tells us that Krebs was not working for them when the alleged abuse happened. Today's hearing is scheduled for 8:30 in the morning at the Washington County Courthouse in Hillsborough. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Brent. Well, today, the homeless man accused of attacking a couple at Poets Beach is due in Multnomah County Court. Portland police arrested Jonathan Rance yesterday after recognizing him as the man who injured 2 people on that pop-up beach. The attack happened after witnesses say the victim's dog was off-leash and playing in the water. They say Rance hit the man and woman with a baton.
The hit-and-run driver who cost a Vancouver man his leg will be spending the next 5 years locked up. Joshua Johnson was sentenced yesterday. He pleaded guilty to hitting Paul Adams earlier this year. That victim's leg had to be amputated. Johnson's mother is currently serving time in prison for a hit-and-run as well. That one happened in 2013. Today, President Trump is set to take steps to tackle the opioid crisis in America. The president gets a briefing on the opioid crisis today from Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price. Well, the president's proposed budget asks for $10.7 billion for drug treatment. That's a $200 million increase, but it would also cut $167 million from abuse prevention. Well, at the same time, Attorney General Jeff Sessions recently announced the creation of the Opioid Fraud, Abuse, and Detection Unit that will use data analytics to find doctors who are overprescribing opioids for profit.
We are coming after you. We will reverse these devastating trends with every lawful tool we have.
The President's Opioid Commission also asked the President to declare a national health emergency. The President, though, has yet to respond.
Well, 6 months have passed since Donald Trump became the 45th president. His overall approval rating currently stands at its lowest point in CNN polling. 38% of Americans say they approve of Trump's handling of the presidency. 56% say they disapprove. 24% of Americans say they trust all or most of what they hear in official communications from the White House, while 30% say they trust nothing at all that they hear from the president's office. Well, opening statements are expected today in Taylor Swift's civil trial against a former disc jockey. A jury selection should wrap up by this afternoon. Swift claims that David Mueller improperly touched her during a concert meet and greet in 2013. Mueller says he was falsely accused and that Swift's team got him fired from the Denver radio station where he worked. As Swift and the DJ are suing each other. If she wins, the singer says she will donate the money to organizations that protect women from sexual assault. Well, the search for an escaped inmate in Ohio is over. Fugitive Brandon Powell was found last night. He killed himself shortly after. Officers located him in the basement crawl space of his parents' house. Now, he refused to come out and eventually he shot himself. Powell, a rape suspect, was considered armed and dangerous after he escaped from a prison transport van on Friday. While shackled and handcuffed, he managed to overpower a deputy and steal his gun.
At the same time, police in Clinton, Missouri are still looking for an accused cop killer. Police say Ian McCarthy shot and killed Officer Gary Michael over the weekend. So far, there have been no signs of the suspect. Well, just an incredible sight caught on surveillance camera in China when a motorcycle slammed into the side of the car. You just saw that explosion over my right shoulder. 4 people were actually on this bike when it hit the car, and then everything right there erupts into a ball of fire. Bystanders rushed in to help pull those victims away from the flames and then put the fire out. And amazingly, when you look at just how big that explosion was, nobody was killed. Also, more than 30 passengers and crew needed rescuing when their ferry caught fire in southern Chile. The Chilean Navy was able to get everyone off the burning boat before it sank. And also here, no one got hurt.
All right, I want to take a look at the roads right now. And Carly, how are things shaping up?
Well, it looks like we're starting to see a little bit of slowing on I-5 southbound right before the Interstate Bridge. You can see these cars drop in speed before you get to the actual bridge. So that's going to mean a little backup there and the start of rush hour, which starts right around this time. So I-5 at SR 14 slows. Now it's only an 8-minute drive, so it really hasn't impacted that drive time all that much. And 9 minutes on I-205 southbound from SR 500 to I-84. 26 looks great no matter what direction you're headed. So out to Hillsborough, in from Hillsborough. 14 minutes there from Troutdale to downtown on I-84, and 5 minutes if you're driving in from I-205. I've got 3 other drive times for you, which are all in great shape. I-205 to Oregon City, 217, and I-5 northbound from Wilsonville to downtown. Joseph?
Well, you might catch some fog early this morning on your morning commute, so keep that in mind, too. You can see the low clouds. This is coming out of Seaside this morning, so a little bit of an onshore flow has kept those clouds and fog along the Pacific and areas of the Columbia this morning, so you'll notice that when you're stepping outside. Temperatures along the coast in the 50s. Manzanita right around 54 degrees. We have Cannon Beach at 57. Today it's going to start off cloudy, but we should work some sunshine in there this afternoon if you have plans. Maybe head off towards the beach. Troutdale at 63. We have Cascade Locks at 66, where it's going to be a warm and another hazy day for the gorge. So if you're going to do some hiking, or maybe have hiking planned, if you're sensitive to that smoke, it might be better to plan that for maybe next week, because it is pretty smoky out there. We'll continue this afternoon. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s on the east side of the state. The central section, Madras right around 57, where you'll warm up this afternoon, likely into the upper 90s here locally. We have temperatures in the 90s this afternoon. So the main story is the smoke. When it will be out of here, I'll tell you about that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Joseph. Well, fewer than 2 weeks to the eclipse, some visitors coming to Portland found out their rental car reservations with Hertz have been canceled.
A Hertz spokesperson wouldn't tell us specifically what happened, but they do admit they overbooked reservations for the weekend of August 21st. Several hundred reservations were canceled, according to a message from Hertz to one customer who lives in New York.
It was really upsetting when all of a sudden it got canceled. We got online and we were seeing, we could rent it for $500 for the day. We've put all this time and effort into this, and now we can't even do some of the stuff we were trying to do.
Well, some customers tried to rebook, and as you just heard, the vehicles were much more expensive. Hertz also says that they're bringing in more cars to fulfill as many reservations as possible, that you have to wonder if it might be too little too late.
Yeah, that's kind of shady for sure. Hey, cell service will be at a premium during the eclipse, and people in Madras will be getting a little help from AT&T. Now, the company is bringing in units to boost capacity called COWS, or Cell on Wheels units. Now, they will increase service by 200% to help with the rush of visitors. And Madras is considered one of the best places to watch the eclipse. Even NASA will have a team on the ground there. Be sure to stick with KOIN 6 as we keep our eyes on the eclipse. We'll have complete coverage from now until the big event on August 21st. And you can check out all of our coverage anytime on KOIN.com.
It's coming up on 5:42. We'll be getting another check on your weather and traffic coming up after the break.
And the life of a famously funny woman is coming to the big screen. Find out who might be playing Lucille Ball in the upcoming movie.
And a pretty bizarre sight in the middle of a Seattle area intersection, how a coroner's office is forced to explain this strange scene. That's coming up new at 6.
Welcome back. You're watching KOIN 6 News, watching out for you.
Welcome back at 5:45. The Clark County Fair is still going on right now, and there are a few deals you really need to look out for over the next several days.
Cora Harlan is live this morning at the fairgrounds in Ridgefield, checking out those deals. It looks like we're looking at bees right now, Cora.
You know what? Bees are the source of everything that grows, and bees are important. We all know that. They've got a great exhibit out here, an educational exhibit out here at the fairgrounds about bees. They give honey sticks away. Those honey sticks, that's about my 7th one this morning, actually. They're delicious. And guess what? The American Honey Queen is here this week. Maya Jaycox. Maya Jaycox from Webster City, Iowa, is here. She is the honeybee queen of the entire United States of America. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Give me the message about bees.
I'm just the national spokesperson for the beekeeping industry, so I travel throughout the U.S. promoting beekeeping and how honeybees are so important to our environment because they help pollinate about 1/3 of the food we eat.
It's a big deal. Bees communicate too, don't they?
They do, yes.
All right. And how when a bee is flying around, we've been talking about this, and we're going to do a little something called the waggle dance here. This is how bees communicate to each other. Hey, there's water over there, there's good food over there, right?
Yes.
So when these bees, 2 bees, would be walking around, how exactly would they do this? This waggle dance indicates, hey, there's something out there that's good. So show us the waggle dance.
Shake.
The bees, shake.
And then you turn.
Turn.
And go back where you started.
Go back where you started.
And then you shake again.
Shake again.
And turn again.
Turn again.
And that's how the bees talk.
That's how they talk.
That's how they
and
talk.
what do they get out? How are they so smart that they can figure that out?
That's how they can say how far away the food is and the direction it is too.
So they base it all off looking at the sun?
Yes.
Bees are smarter than we give them credit for, I guess,
They're
right?
very smart.
All right. One last word on bees after the waggle dance here, too, about people's gardening habits. What can people at their own home gardens and such do to help bees?
They can plant as many bee-friendly flowers as possible. There's an app for smartphones. It's called Bee Smart, BEESMART. And you can put in your zip code, and it'll tell you all the bee-friendly flowers in your area.
Okay. All right. Let's end it up here. It's waggle dance again. 1, 2, 3. You got to shake your butt and go around. Back to where you are. 1, 2, 3. Shake your butt going away around. This is awesome. Let's do the waggle dance here. Back to you, Trevor and Jenny. The waggle dance. Give it a whirl. Everybody's doing it at the Clark County Fair this week.
Wow.
The waggle dance.
Gonna have to learn
You like that?
We like
All
that.
the kids are doing it.
Yeah, it's going to be at the weddings. Yeah, you're going to go to weddings, and that's going to be the big,
the new cha-cha slide.
At the wedding, right.
Oh, Cor. Okay.
Well, she's considerably younger than I am, so I don't know that the wedding will be that much fun for her.
That's not what we were implying.
That was a little, took it to a creepy level, but okay.
Oh, thank you, Cora.
I had to suck on that honey stick, yeah. And that dance, that is a real thing. You said you learned about it on the Magic.
On the Magic School Bus, yeah, that's how bees communicate. It's intricate dances.
We
for
just
sure.
learned that.
Which is also how I communicate as well.
I've noticed.
He's not going to speak anymore. He's just going to shuffle
Commercial
around the
breaks,
desk.
yeah.
Yeah, you get it. All right, this is enough bee chatter.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk to Carly about the roads in a second. Joseph, you've been forecasting great days for about 8 weeks now.
Yes.
Is it more the same today?
More the same today. It's going to be hot. I don't know if I'm done yet, though, with the bee chatter. I want to go back. I have oregano plants outside of our front yard, and there's so many bees there, and it's good to see that.
Yeah,
As
it's good.
unfortunate as they are. So plant all the oregano. It's seriously like 500 bees outside. Walk outside the door and boom, there they are. It's going to be hot. It's going to be smoky this afternoon. You mentioned it. You've been living it the last couple of weeks. 60 degrees this morning. It's foggy. It's cloudy. And you know what? This afternoon, it's going to still kind of feel cloudy and foggy because of that smoke haze that is outdoors. It's all the wildfires moving in. It started last week, and it's stuck. And it's going to stay stuck here as we go into at least this afternoon and likely tomorrow. I don't see that smoke really clearing out over the next 24 to 48 hours. We're 52 days now without any rain. If we reach the solar eclipse, that's going to be 67 days. We are approaching a top 5 driest stretch here for Portland. Abnormally dry drought monitor has now shuffled all the way over towards the west into the Cascades, so it's growing a little bit. And mainly it's because we haven't seen that precipitation. So it's a lowest of the intensity. It's short term, about 6 months or less. Hopefully we'll get some more precipitation rolling on in. At least for the meantime, it's still going to remain dry here for us in the Pacific Northwest. So here's our weather headlines as we move into this afternoon. It's going to be hazy. It's going to be humid. Temperatures today topping off in the 90s. We're going to keep that smoke in the sky. That means the air quality is going to be poor all the way through this afternoon. So if you're sensitive to this, you're going to want to try to stay indoors and maybe start planning things for maybe next week or a few days from now, as it should get a little bit better. Potential cooling, though, and a rain chance as we go through the week. This whole gray scale here, this is our poor air quality. It's all the way from Salem up towards Portland, stretching over towards Pendleton. So limit the outdoor activity if you can today, because it's definitely not going to feel very good outside, and it's going to appear to be pretty smoky out there too. Wednesday and Thursday still in the lower 90s, but I have some good news. It looks like Friday into Saturday, more likely into the weekend, where we'll start to break this pattern we've had for about 2 weeks now, and we'll start to see some cooler conditions. Sunday, maybe even a chance for rain, and I mentioned it's been 52 days. If we get to Sunday and we see that break in that whole rain stretch, that'd be really nice. At least for the next couple of days, though, we have to deal with the smoke and a little bit of fog this morning too, I think, on the roads, Carly.
Well, I'm seeing some slowing and that rush hour starting to form here. We also have a traffic alert, and that is a stall reported on the I-5 northbound on-ramp to Terwilliger. It's only partially blocking, so you can still take that on-ramp. You can see the car right there stalled out, traffic getting by just left of that vehicle. So again, that on-ramp is open at Terwilliger on I-5 northbound, but watch out for the stall. 10 minutes here in from Vancouver because of some slowing from Mill Plain to the Interstate Bridge. 9 minutes though across the Glen Jackson Bridge, no slowing there, or through Oregon City, and 217 looks great.
All right, thank you, Carly. Well, comedian Amy Schumer is set to make her Broadway debut. The actress is set to star in Steve Martin's new play Meteor Shower alongside Keegan-Michael Key, Laura Benanti, and Alan Tudyk. Now, Meteor Shower is Martin's second Broadway production. The show is about two couples who get together for an evening of stargazing. It opens November 29th at Manhattan's Booth Theater. And Amazon Studios is set to make a new movie about the life of Lucille Ball. Cate Blanchett is in talks to star in that film. Ball starred in several award-winning TV series throughout her career. The most famous, of course, I Love Lucy. The studio is still looking for an actor to play Ball's husband, Desi Arnaz. The couple's children, Lucy Arnaz and Desi Arnaz Jr., will produce the film.
I'm Miss Bonnie Parker. And this here's Mr. Clyde Barrow. We rob banks.
The classic crime film Bonnie and Clyde is turning 50 this year, and to celebrate the milestone, the movie's coming back to theaters for 2 nights only. The film, starring Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty, will be shown August 13th and 16th. And 3 theaters in our area are showing the film. If you want tickets, just check out the link on KOIN.com. And happening today, the brand new Carpool Karaoke TV series hits the internet. The show is available on Apple Music. It features celebrity and musical guests singing songs and going on misadventures. And of course, Late Late Show host James Corden will show up as well. He hosts the first episode of the season and will return for the finale. So new episodes will drop every Tuesday on Apple Music, and you can always see the Late Late Show every weeknight here on KOIN 6. It's after the Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
I like that carpool karaoke segment. It's
Who
good.
doesn't?
Well, I mean, you know, maybe it's not everyone's thing, but I like it. It's funny. He's funny too, James Corden.
It's just a good time.
Okay, it's 5:54. You're watching KOIN 6 News. Watching out for you.
A local teen is working to help find a cure for a debilitating disease. We'll tell you all about his efforts in Washington, D.C.
And a new leak is causing trouble for the Trump administration. It's a report all about climate change. We'll break it down for you coming up new at 6.